This is WWE superstar Drew McIntyre, and you're listening to the WWE Podcast.
The champ is
the one that everybody wants, me.
Becky Lynch is going to WrestleMania. Claymore!
Austin 316 says I just whipped your ass. This is my iron. You're going to acknowledge me.
What is going on, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the WWE Podcast. And of course, I am one of your returning hosts, John Carrasco, aka Young Jonathan. And yeah, I know it's been quite a time since I've been here. I had a couple things kind of pop up that were unexpected, I guess you could say, that kind of threw my schedule out of a loop. And man, I can definitely say that I miss y'all. I definitely don't like missing any of this, you know, trying to stay in the loop with the wrestling shows and everything like that. And yeah, everything is kind of flying by pretty quick, I guess you could say. You know, we got Fastlane coming up today, and of course I am recording this on the Saturday, you know, instead of Friday like we would normally do. But Mike had some stuff come up, and he asked me to kind of fill in for him, and I was able to make this work around my schedule. So yeah, definitely over here trying to knock out this episode for y'all before Fastlane starts, you know, get y'all's little review in and everything, and kind of maybe bump up my ideas off y'all, see what y'all kind of think and everything. So yeah, definitely looking forward to breaking this down for y'all, and definitely just want to say that, of course, I miss the WWE Universe, WWE Podcast. Like I said, it does suck that I have to miss this, but I mean, things come up, you know, life happens, and you got to just kind of roll with the flow, I guess you could say. So yeah, definitely here to try and break this down for y'all as best as I can. I know it's not going to be as detailed and everything like that as, of course, Mike would do, but yeah, definitely going to do the John edition here. And yeah, let's get this day going. Of course, it is about 9 o'clock in the morning on this lovely Saturday, and yeah, I'm going to go ahead and get this going for y'all. But yeah, just wanted to say, or let y'all know exactly what was going on. Of course, I'm still around and everything like that, but the recording part of it on Friday gets kind of hard, just considering like babysitter situation and everything. So yeah, definitely trying to make the best of this little situation that I got going on today for y'all. And of course, this is the SmackDown review, number 155. Dang, it's been a good amount of time, you know, rolling with these punches, I guess. But other than that, yeah, let's go ahead and break this down. This SmackDown here was recorded from St. Louis, Missouri, as of yesterday's date, October 6th, of course. And it started off, you know, normally how it normally would. Is a good little review on what's going on between Bloodline and John Cena, you know, kind of going back and forth with their little situation that they got coming up today. Other than that, I mean, it was a good way to start the show, kind of give us a little refreshment of what's going on. But we do get the megastar, LA Knight, starting us off. He comes out, you know, interrupted by the Bloodline, you know, trying to get his little words in. And of course, here comes Paul Heyman, Solo Sikoa, Jimmy Uso, and basically like what Paul starts saying here is that he can see, like, whenever a megastar is like starting to come up, and you know, he's been in the industry for so long that he can kind of see this from like a mile away, and he basically just gives LA Knight that title, the next megastar that's going to be coming along in the WWE. And, you know, kind of just giving him his credit and his condolences. And LA Knight, he kind of just turns around, you know, thanks him, but tells him that he needs to shut up or shut his mouth in a way of words, you know. And it was just a funny little situation right there, you know, just the facial expression from Paul Heyman, you know, the way that LA Knight is delivering this whole little speech right here. Yeah, it was just some good stuff. But of course, you know, we get the... I don't even know what to call Jimmy right now. It kind of feels like he's trying to be like that right-hand man in a way, kind of like taking the lead since Roman's not here, kind of calling the shots, you know, trying to make his own little way about working in the Bloodline, you know, even if he hasn't really been declared back into the Bloodline. But, I mean, he's doing what he can do, I guess you could say, what's given to him, you know, given the fact that Roman, he's not really showing up that much. We do got Paul Heyman, you know, kind of being like that little puppeteer behind the whole Bloodline situation. It's kind of getting a little bit interesting. It kind of feels like now they're trying to make the story like seem like Paul Heyman is the person that's kind of behind all this, like decision making, the way that they're going about doing their business, I guess you could say, you know, kind of like this whole little situation that they got going on with the Judgment Day that I can kind of explain later here on throughout the show. But it's some good stuff that they got going on. But of course, jump back into the action. We do get Jimmy Uso. He kind of just interrupts LA Knight whenever he's talking and just starts bumping his gums a little bit, saying that LA Knight isn't going to make it to Fastlane tomorrow. And then Bloodline, you know, they slowly start to approach the ring, you know, winning a numbers game here. And then all of a sudden we get John Cena comes out to kind of even things out. And then we get what we were kind of looking forward to, you know, like a match between LA Knight and Jimmy Uso that was declared right then and there, you know, LA Knight challenging Jimmy Uso. And you can kind of feel just like that whole energy, you know, like the pop that they gave LA Knight whenever he came up, and then all the way rolling through like the end of this segment right here. So it was some good stuff. Definitely wasn't mad about it or anything. And yeah, definitely like that they actually made a match come out of this little situation to kind of get us ready for today, I guess you could say. But I do like how this all kind of like transitioned and everything. Yeah, definitely like led up to a good part of the show later on. But let's go ahead and jump into this next one. I know it's going to be kind of fast. You know, I'm trying to just roll through this, get this out of the way so I can get back to the house and everything, you know, just given the fact that I'm on a short schedule right now. But definitely going to try and make this the best for you, like I was saying earlier. But following that, we do get Charlotte and Asuka versus Io Sky and Bayley. And this one was kind of interesting. I felt like this definitely put like eyeballs onto this match coming into today, I guess you could say, and it's definitely something that I'm looking forward to. I didn't really, I'm not too much of a fan of triple threat matches whenever it comes to a title belt. I do always feel like there's always a disadvantage going against the champion, being in Io Sky, I guess you could say, and yeah, it definitely kind of just throws off like that. Like what we could actually get out of a one-on-one versus a one versus one, you know, like kind of have to kind of look into every little aspect of one person going against one person and then another person going against the other in a way. And I always feel like there's always just a way around this whole way to win whenever it comes to these matches. But I mean, it's definitely something that I'm looking forward to. Like I was saying, I think these women are definitely in a good position right here to kind of like amp up, make us put eyes more on this women's division, because I do feel like it's starting to get a little bit better given the fact that they have a lot more scenarios, storylines kind of going on, kind of building up and everything. So yeah, I mean, having Bayley and Charlotte kind of go against each other, you know, kind of bring back some old rivalry in a way and kind of see if we can kind of split off from there. You know, we do see that Io Sky is getting tired of Bayley kind of making like the calls for her. You know, last week or one of these weeks she said that, or Io Sky said that she can talk for herself rather than having Bayley having to be that little mouthpiece for her and stuff. So you can see like the little tension starting to get a little more up there between those two, you know. And I don't know if there's going to be like some type of splitting between this, but then again, you know, there's so many ways that they can kind of go about making storylines out of this now. You know, they're definitely on the right track, I guess you could say, with this whole women's division that they got going on. But yeah, let's jump into the match. I feel like these women did put on a good match. I mean, of course, whenever you got these four kind of going against each other, you kind of expect something. I felt like there was a couple botches that definitely didn't take away from the match, but you definitely noticed that, you know, they're trying to get their chemistry going and trying to make the best of the matches. So I definitely wouldn't say that the botches like downplayed or anything like that, but there was also some high points. I believe like Charlotte Flair, she did like a little cat or a front walk into a clothesline, and that was pretty nice. I felt like that crossbody that she did off the top of her rope, maybe like the landing was a little bit tough, but then again, like you still got a good pop from the crowd and everything. So they were into it. You know, I was definitely into it too. You could just notice like whenever Charlotte landed, she landed with like her feet and her arms or hands against the mat, and it just wasn't just a flat crossbody. It was definitely like a stand-up one in a way. And I mean, you can notice, I mean, but other than that, like I said, I don't think it took away from the match or anything. I definitely feel like they put on for this show, and it was a good way to go about that. But Charlotte, she does end up hitting a natural selection on Bailey, and of course getting the 1-2-3 Oscar and Charlotte win, and that was a good way to go about it. Kind of, I wouldn't say take away from Io Sky, but then give her some type of momentum to kind of look into tomorrow to get her pumped for today. So it was definitely a good way to go about that. But after that, we do get a little backstage situation with the Bloodline and Judgment Day, kind of just like starting to get a little discussion going on in the back room. And I don't know, man, it's the way that this thing is going to go about. If they come together, man, it's just going to be like domination, I think. And I just don't know who they'd be able to go against. I mean, there's going to be so many people that are in that little faction right there if they kind of go about it, but it'd be definitely some interesting stuff to see. I feel like there'd be a lot more like internal issues rather than external issues, so I definitely kind of see like what they're trying to go about there. But I don't know, man, there's a lot of tension between Solo Sikoa, Damian Priest, it seems like. So I don't know, maybe they can make something out of this and then just keep on rolling with it, And it is kind of crazy that we have Rhea Ripley kind of being like the mouthpiece behind the Judgment Day and everything. So I mean, yeah, definitely like some stuff going on, I guess. I figured maybe like Damian Priest would be the one that talked to Paul Heyman, but then again, we do have a dominant superstar in Rhea Ripley, and maybe she should be she is the face of the Judgment Day, given the fact that there's been tension between Finn Balor and Damian Priest in the past, maybe kind of going a new route, trying to make things work in the Judgment Day and stuff. So yeah, definitely something to keep our eyes on too, especially later on in the show. But other than that, we'll jump into this next one. We do get Rey Mysterio versus Bobby Lashley, and of course this kind of spiraled out from like the beating that the LWO took from last week from the Street Profits and everything. This whole little new gimmick, the aggressive Street Profits, is definitely starting to work. You definitely see people are starting to like get a little bit more traction behind them. And the following, I feel like, yeah, you definitely get a good pop when Bobby Lashley comes out, Street Profits come out. And I don't know, it's just a new look. I feel like they're, instead of like the little jerseys, the little uniforms they used to wear, you get a little bit more of a classy look, a dress-up look. And I feel like it's working. I don't know, Montez Ford, I mean, he definitely feels like he's on the backside of this for me. I don't know if it's more of like having to control his little like comical expressions and stuff like that, but I definitely feel like this fits Angelo Dawkins in a more serious way, the suit and everything. So yeah, definitely a good way to try and amp them up, I guess you could say. And yeah, this is something that I'm kind of interested in. But this was a good match, good back and forth. Bobby Lashley, you see him trying to use a good amount of bear hugs to kind of wear and tear Rey Mysterio, drain his energy throughout the match. And it worked for a little bit. You can definitely tell that Rey Mysterio was definitely getting the worst of those hugs. And yeah, I definitely wouldn't want to be in that position right there. But Rey Mysterio, man, he definitely knows how to put on these shows whenever he's up against somebody that's twice his size. We've seen all in the past. And I just feel like they put on a good show here. I don't really like the size difference, but then again, Rey Mysterio has stepping up to the plate multiple times to show that he can go against people at any size, any weight, anything like that, So, I mean, he got a lot of heart, man. For him to be at the age that he is and still able to put on these shows for us and still be entertaining, it's a good round of applause that he deserves and everything. Of course, Hall of Famer, he deserves it. He got all the credit and everything behind him. And yeah, just seeing that he's able to keep pushing through this, still being IC champion, yeah, still going about doing his business in this career. It's a good thing to see. But on the outside of the ring, we also do get a little bit of chaos, Street Profits, they start attacking LWO on the outside and, get a little distraction right there. What kind of helps Bobby Lashley get this spear set up on Rey Mysterio to get the win, get the 1-2-3 after that. And basically that's how that one ends. Really wouldn't want to see Rey Mysterio lose there, but then again, you do get some momentum behind the Bobby Lashley and Street Profits at this one. So, I mean, kind of just starts giving the Street Profits a little bit of a momentum roll. Definitely feel like these two teams right here are two of the factions that are trying to start on the uprise here. And whenever you see these two in the ring, you're kind of thinking like, okay, if you get the Street Profits to ring, of course you can start elevating them a little bit more. But then again, we've had LWO for so long, and you're trying to get them to push a little bit, especially given the fact that you have a title in their faction. You definitely want to have some attention on them. You definitely want to have them rolling. So I felt like this was two teams right here that are definitely trying to push themselves over with the crowd, the audience, and everything. So yeah, them or the Street Profits getting the win, or Bobby Lashley, I guess you could say, whole little situation group. I feel like this kind of like elevates them a little bit to kind of help with their momentum rolling into the year. And yeah, they definitely need to start getting some more traction, start getting a little bit more involved with like championships, maybe another faction that's kind of has a higher seat in the WWE, I guess. But other than that, I mean, even on the LWO side, I mean, they've been around trying to make their name, trying to get the crowd to chant the LWO, trying to be a part of this whole company, I guess. But other than that, man, I do feel like they're kind of at like a steady growth rate. I know Rey Mysterio winning that championship kind of put eyes on it a little bit more, given the fact that they are a faction that is holding a title belt. So yeah, definitely some ways that they can go about making both of these teams elevate themselves in this company. But yeah, I do feel like after yesterday, Street Profits, Bobby Lashley getting that win, they're the faction that you kind of want to look into the most, I guess you could say, out of these two. So yeah, some good stuff going on right here. But after that, I mean, yeah, I do feel like this whole little situation with the Judgment Day bloodline is starting to thicken a lot more, especially given the fact that we get these two teams, they're backstage, have an intense little face-off, in the locker room and everything. And now we get Rhea Ripley, and she's telling the Judgment Day and the bloodline, that they should come together, Paul Heyman being that little piece for them and everything. And Paul just says that he needs to ask the tribal chief before any kind of decisions are made. And of course, Rhea Ripley tells Paul Heyman that he needs to acknowledge her. And God, that was just a bold statement right there. Definitely didn't think that, Rhea Ripley would be in any type of position to kind of make that reference right there, especially given the fact that Paul says, you're definitely in the wrong locker room to be saying anything like that. And, she gets that little, okay, maybe I did kind of mess up. But then again, she has that nice little creepy grin that she does, to kind of be like, well, maybe I did mean to say this just to get your, eyebrows raised. And that's exactly what happened there. And I thought that was just a good part of the little interaction that they had right there. And yeah, I couldn't even imagine, man. I mean, if they came together, I mean, like I was saying earlier, that's total domination right there. I don't feel like anybody would be able to go up against them, and I wouldn't say compete, but wouldn't be able to win. Definitely feel like there's a big numbers game there. You got dominant superstars in both sides of those teams right there. So, I mean, them coming together is definitely just a big force, that I wouldn't say you wouldn't want to see, but then again, you wouldn't want that to carry on too long, just because the whole domination part, like I said, it might be more internal issues between superstars. But yeah, I mean, I don't think there's much that you can do storyline wise outside of the group if that was to happen, So something to look forward to. I mean, definitely ready to see what kind of like spirals out from this, given the fact that they're already starting to plant the seeds. And it's not bad. Definitely not bad. Something that I'm interested in. I definitely want to see what kind of turns out about this. But yeah, I'm kind of on the no-go of them coming together. I just don't feel like it'd be like the best situation. But like I said, creative. they do their thing. They kind of put out some here's and there's that kind of have me questioning a lot. But then again, like, it always seems like it kind of comes together in the end, and yeah, kind of makes the best out of most situations, I guess you could say. So, I mean, yeah, something to look forward to right there. But yeah, up next we get Austin Theory versus Dragon Lee. Man, I can't really lie right here. This one was kind of like the Lunchable for me. Let me go ahead and quote it. I was interested in it, but I didn't have that much. I mean, it's hard to get between or behind the new faces, I guess you could say. I mean, of course, you want to kind of see what they can do, what they can bring out to the table. And Dragon Lee, he's new to me. I mean, I wouldn't say completely just a unknown face or anything, but definitely haven't seen much of his wrestling side. Of course, I do know his name and everything, but having these 4 superstars, I guess you could say, them all being so young, that definitely kind of made me look at it in a different way, because, like, this is the young talent that we got going on right now. You know, this is the people that are going to kind of be coming up throughout the years, you know. So, I mean, we definitely had of course, Austin Theory versus Dragon Lee. We do get, man, I thought this was actually a funny comment from Michael Cole whenever Grayson Waller came out. He says, loudmouth Waller. I mean, definitely kind of suits him and everything. So, yeah, that was a good little laugh that I had got from there. Michael Cole, he definitely knows when to put those little punchlines in, I guess. And, yeah, something I always look forward to whenever he's on the mic. Kind of hard with the whole situation going on the broadcast table, you know, given the fact that there's 3. Kevin Patrick definitely feels like he's starting to come along a lot better, you know, especially whenever it's his time to talk. You know, I feel like he kind of inserts himself at better times rather than just like leaving dead silence. So, yeah, it's definitely starting to work out over there on that side. But other than that, man, like I was saying, Grayson Waller, he ends up coming out, kind of being like a distraction on the side. And, of course, another young name that I was trying to mention earlier was Cameron Grimes. He comes out, he puts a nice little attack on Waller, which also gives the distraction in the ring for Dragon Lee. He does get a roll up on Austin Theory, you know, given the fact that like I said, the whole little distraction out there kind of caught Austin Theory off guard. And yeah, he was definitely going to hit his move on him. Dragon Lee slides up out of it, gets that little roll up, gets the 1, 2, 3. And of course, you know, you get a little shocked little look from Austin Theory, you know, what's going on? How did I lose this type thing, you know? And I don't know, it felt kind of good to me, you know, seeing Austin Theory lose. I mean, not saying I'm not the biggest hater of him or anything like that, but definitely like the way that they're kind of going about his situation now, you know, given the fact lost the IC title. Now they're trying to give him some ups and downs to kind of overcome the whole situation, you know, probably make the best of what he got going on right now. But the little grouping between him and Grayson Waller, I definitely feel like that's pretty good. Felt like Michael Cole kind of stated this, that they've only had 2 matches together, but then again, it does seem like they have a lot more chemistry than just 2 matches, you know. Definitely a team to look out for, you know, especially, like I said, they're young and everything. So, yeah, definitely want to keep the eyes on them. But like I was saying, Dragon Lee, he does get this surprise win with the distraction from Cameron Grimes. So, yeah, definitely some good stuff right here. But other than that, let's go ahead and jump into this main event. Of course, we do get LA Knight versus Jimmy Uso. And, of course, this is kind of, you know, just been building from the beginning of the show. You definitely, well, this was something that I was definitely looking forward to, you know, just given the fact that this is kind of like the preview. You know, we definitely get to see LA Knight versus Jimmy Uso. You know, half the team from both sides kind of go at it, see what we can kind of expect for tomorrow. And I would definitely say that these 2 men right here definitely did put on a good match right here. Sorry about that. But other than that, I felt like, you know, given the circumstance, you know, we got LA Knight, you know, the biggest person that's kind of in the company at this moment, versus Jimmy Uso, given the fact that he's starting to get his little solo run. And like I was saying earlier, him being like the face of the bloodline in a way, and kind of give Paul Heyman more credit than I would give Jimmy. But he's over here, you know, he's doing his little backstage stuff, you know, causing some chaos, trying to keep the the story kind of going in a way, given the fact that he's doing his own little, I don't even know what to call it, man. He's just going around beating people up, trying to stay dominant, and it's some good stuff. And definitely feel like you're getting a lot more out of him than you are Jey Uso on the other side, given the fact that he's on Raw now. But yeah, man, I feel like Jimmy Uso, he's kind of in this weird little state, He doesn't have anybody to kind of give him any leadership, any instructions on what to do. So he's kind of just making his own little way in the group. But the whole situation, given the fact that nobody's really said that he's in the bloodline yet, kind of has me with my little antennas up in a way. But I mean, like I said, he's doing his thing. Of course, you got Solo, still being that enforcer, Paul Heyman, kind of running things while the absence of Roman Reigns, so don't really know what's going on that side. It's kind of like more of like questions. And I think it's more of questions like, where's Roman Reigns? Why hasn't he came to address any of this? Is he going to just like let Jimmy and Paul Heyman kind of keep doing their thing right here? And you never know, man. I kind of feel like there's going to be like a bad little situation that's going to come about this, especially whenever Roman Reigns comes back. So definitely looking forward to that. But other than that, man, yeah, still a lot more stuff that kind of goes on in this match. Of course, after the DQ, John Cena, he comes out to kind of help out LA Knight. And shortly, not even much longer, I mean, here comes Judgment Day, all of them just coming out looking dominant as heck, cameras like kind of right up in Damian Priest's face, straight look to the ring, doesn't even acknowledge the camera. So yeah, it was definitely some good stuff to see right there. But like this whole little group that they got going on with them, Judgment Day bloodline against, or basically just standing up against John Cena and LA Knight, baby faces over there, definitely outnumbered, so they kind of line up where the Judgment Day bloodline is on the outside of the rope, still on the mat and everything, but of course in the center of the ring you get LA Knight and John Cena just by themselves. But of course, a couple seconds later, you get the music hit from Jey Uso. Definitely didn't expect that, but it was a good way to kind of get this whole little interaction to living up a little bit. Of course, the feels is already pretty high. You definitely got like a superstar stub into the show. Definitely a lot of people out there that you want to look forward to seeing, I guess. And for the people that were in attendance today, I guarantee they were happy, or yesterday, I guarantee they were happy to see as many people as they did in that whole little ring right there at the same time, So I would definitely say WWE did their thing on ending the match, So, like I was saying, get back into this. Jey Uso comes out. Shortly after that, you get a major Cody Rhodes pop. It was crazy. Like, dude came out, song kind of cut off like halfway to the ring, and the crowd was still singing that, or his song, for a good amount of time after the song went off. So yeah, that was a good way to see that the crowd was involved. They're definitely hyped, ready for this. So yeah, this is definitely, that was definitely a good way to go off the air right there. But other than that, this little standoff between the two groups, baby faces versus the Hills, was definitely a good way to go about. You get Paul Heyman, like it looks like he's trying to pull Solo Sikoa off the ring before like any of the interactions start happening, and it looks like he gets to him. Jay, he seems like he might have taken like an elbow or something, to the face, to the chest to bump him off the ring. But really, you only have the Judgment Day going against the four in LA Knight, John Cena, Jey Uso, and Cody Rhodes. So it kind of evened out a little bit, but yeah, definitely a good way to end the match, get the feels going for Fastlane today. And yeah, definitely makes you just look forward to the next part of this, because there's just so much that's going on right now, man. I mean, if you take a break from watching a little bit and you come back, you kind of start watching all the recaps, everything like that, you definitely see, oh, dang, yeah, there is a good amount of stuff that you kind of that you miss in between, you know, just like the small pieces rather than like seeing just like the big pieces that kind of show up on social media and stuff like that. So that's how I've been kind of keeping up with it. Of course, I try to watch like Raw and SmackDown. Well, I watch SmackDown every Friday still. I mean, I of course not going to leave that one, but on the Raw side, yeah, definitely something that's hard to keep up with, I guess, given the fact that it is a extra hour long. You know, definitely takes away from time at home and stuff. So, yeah. But other than that, man, I mean, I'm definitely ready for this to. Ooh, man, it's going to be a good day. Let me say that. Yeah, Fastlane today, coming on a little later. I hope everybody looks forward to it. And of course, this is the end of the show. Can't really say much about it, but I do appreciate y'all coming to make this a part of y'all's routine, of course, like how we say every week. And definitely, if you're a Patreon member, thank you for sticking around. Definitely being in that group chat and everything like that, Discord chat. And even if you're not a Patreon member, of course, it's $1 to get into the little Patreon, get the little Discord chat, and of course, you get to meet some interesting people that know exactly what they're looking for whenever it comes to wrestling and stuff. You definitely get the personalities, the characters in there itself, and yeah, it's something to be a part of right there. Of course, this is a pretty big podcast, and it blows my mind every time, you know, just kind of looking at numbers, you know, the amount of people that kind of take their time to leave a review and comments and stuff like that. So yeah, definitely a lot of interaction over there from y'all. So it's definitely something that makes, I would say, me, Mike, you know, everybody else a part of the podcast, you know, look a little bit more forward to doing this, because we have people behind us that, you know, support, you know, definitely give us their ideas, opinions, and stuff like that. So yeah, it's all good stuff, but you're here to record and everything like that. And of course, if Mike ever needs me, you know, I try to fill in with, for him as much as I can. Definitely, so we can get this SmackDown review pumped out for y'all and have y'all something to listen to for, you know, of course, SmackDown review. But other than that, man, definitely going to wrap it up like that. I hope y'all do have a good weekend. I hope y'all do enjoy Fastlane, and I'm out.
Thanks for listening to the WWE Podcast. Don't forget to subscribe on your favorite podcast app so you don't miss a show, or head to WWEpodcast.com. And for all of these shows ad-free, head over to patreon.com/WWE Podcast. Until then, we'll see you next time.